We back, Brennan up in here,
Yo.
Hardo up in here.
Trap.
Yeah, this one's been requested for a minute. You know what I'm saying? This is like one of the only big ones we ain't do yet. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot last run, but we ain't never touched base with Hardo yet, so we had to have him come through. We gonna talk about a lot.
Yeah, it's all in timing, perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Chop it up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, recently, just 3 months ago, you dropped the Fame or Fad story, early
Yes.
September.
Yeah, the hardest shit in the streets, man. Not just because it's me. It's the best street project out in the streets that came out all 18, all 19. We gonna send that shit through the roof.
Yeah. I was just telling you, like, I feel like as your album's been going on year after year, project after project, this one just seems so well-rounded for us. The production, the features, the journey throughout the album. Like, it's not just this song talking about this song talking about that. It's like you taking all your listeners, all your fans on the journey with you throughout from beginning to end.
Yeah, that's music. Like, with real substance is the shit that lasts. Like, it's the shit that, anybody who got, like, a real sense of anything, like, when they listen to that shit, they feel exactly, from the beginning to the end where I'm coming from. But it's only my second project. Like, that's my second, like, main project, Trappin' Naughty, and this. Everything else, the mixtapes and all that, it's just having fun, trying shit, seeing what the fans like and react to. But, like, my core of what I do is Trappin' Naughty and now the Fame or Fads project. Like, I paint pictures, I tell real stories, real street shit that went on, and just keep it real with everything about real life. Like, so, yeah, it's definitely my best work that I put out.
And this got to be like your best year you've been having ever.
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I'm
touring with Wiz and everything. And
making these racks, streaming millions, I'm going up daily. Like, when I'm in them offices, niggas ain't on the bottom floor talking to the nobodies. We upstairs, talking with the big money bag and shit like that. So everything going up, man. I'm just working daily, but everything, it take time. If you ain't dick riding, you ain't doing all the fuck shit. Like, I ain't no super internet ass nigga. So, like, I ain't the motherfucker online all day doing this and that and the third for attention. If I was, I'd probably have 1 million followers. So, I do mine the hard way. I grind mine the real way. And, like, every day this shit just gonna get bigger and bigger for me.
I dig it. Let's start from the beginning. Let's take it back real quick. Growing up in Pittsburgh, first of all, like, we know you from Wilkinsburg. You been living in Wilkinsburg your whole life?
No, I lived in a couple different neighborhoods and shit. I lived all over, but, like, definitely where I, like, grew up at. My dad always lived in Wilkinsburg. Like, my mom kind of moved around and shit, so I end up, in different neighborhoods. But, yeah, Wilkinsburg is definitely where I grew up at.
All right. When you was growing up, you a young kid, bro. What, like, type of things was you into as a kid? Like, from sports to interest to anything?
I mean, I was in sports heavy. Like, I always wanted to be, like, a football player and shit like that. My dad, was on my ass. My mom, like, shit wasn't sweet. So, like, I had a curfew and all that shit growing up. But, when you're in the hood, you adapt to your environment. I got friends who ain't got parents. So, they got a stack on them and shit like that. My mom might be just giving me a dub, but it's more to it, like, when you got a foundation at home. But when I see my friend with a band, I'm thinking, like, I want that stack too. And that's the shit that, make you end up in the streets and doing shit that you don't think gonna have the consequences that end up, the consequences end up coming in the end, and it be too late.
So what came first for you? Was it the rapping or jumping into the streets?
I was in the streets first, for sure. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't even have a story to tell, like, if I wasn't in the streets. Like, everything I rap about, is 100. So I think that's why people accepted me, because a lot of people knew, like I was that young nigga really doing this and that and the third. Then I started, putting it on the record and actually, could rap. So it all, like, went straight up for me from the rip.
Word.
So when you was growing up, before you, like, was taking rap serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, who was you listening to? Like, what type of music was you growing up on?
Yeah, I grew up on that BG and that Slim. Like, that's what really impacted my life the most. Like, trying to live like them niggas. Other than that, like, fucked with Jeezy heavy, fucked with Ross. Like, right now, like, Meek, my favorite rapper, like, shit like that. It's like all the shit that I always listened to, Wayne, Hot Boys and all that. That's the shit I grew up on.
Yeah. You went to Autodice, right?
Yeah. But I ended up going back to Wilkinsburg to graduate in 12th grade. But yeah, I went to Autodice all through high school and shit.
Did you ball Autodice?
No, I mean, I attempted to play and shit, but then, the streets took me under by the time then. And so I never really, like, ended up playing no games or nothing. But I definitely was on the team for a little bit.
Were you talking basketball or football?
Football. Yeah.
What position?
For real, I don't even. I was a freshman.
Real street.
So I ain't gonna stutter. No, that sounded wild. Like I was trash. No, I ain't trash or none of that. Like, I'm definitely nice in sports. Always started my whole life. Like, I was a freshman. Like, they had, like, I ain't gonna stunt. They was on like senior picks. They was on some other shit up there. Like, there was motherfuckers who played Little League with me that was trash, who like was getting a look that you feel me shouldn't have been getting a look up there. Like real shit at practice. We got that equipment I was fucking up. You feel me? They supposed to be good players and shit. So they had me like trying out the backfield, corner, shit like that. But it never got to like the games or nothing. I'd have definitely been starting on the team.
Right.
Or I'd have been like, a role player as a freshman and all that shit.
When you was at Order Dice, didn't you ride the bus with Mac Miller?
Yeah, yup. We rode the same school bus and shit. Like on the corner of Lexington. Like I lived about at McDonald's in Wilkinsburg. He lived right there in Point Breeze. I was using somebody's address to go to the Dice. So I used to walk to that school bus and shit. And yeah, that's how me and Mac got close. He used to be rapping all the time and talking about the studio he had in the crib. So I ended up, asking him to come over one day after school and shit. And I start like recording literally the first shit I ever put on records was at his crib. Before I was trying to be a rapper and shit though. I was just doing it like personally for like me and my friends and shit.
At that point, I know he wasn't going by Mac Miller. It was like Easy Mac.
Easy Mac, yeah, yup.
Not too many people. I don't know. Around what year was this, real quick?
I went to high school in what? Like 07 or some shit?
So he wasn't really...
Yeah, I think 07 was my first year of high school.
He was
I graduated in 2010.
Okay, so he was more so like starting like you was. He wasn't like too big at that time. No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I remember like he was asking me to like fuck with him and shit, and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, because he thought I was dope, but I didn't think like he was about to be, no star or nothing. That was my homie and shit, but he definitely wasn't like nowhere near like big yet, so he really grinded that shit out like. And ended up blowing up.
That was like what, the Nikes on my feet and all that type shit, like that time?
He had like the Class Clown Project. I was on that shit. It was online. Like my name was Young Joe. Was my real name. I had this joint called Street Nigga on this nigga's project, because that's how much he like fucked with me. So when I did start rapping and shit, like he reached out ASAP.
How did y'all like? How do you know that you was rapping though? Was y'all battling at lunchtime and shit?
No, like I was a quiet nigga. Like I really still am for real. Like I'm not the super entertaining type of dude. I'm more the chill type. So like he knew. Only because, like, I see him rapping all the time. And we was on the same school bus, so I pulled him to the side to come to his crib. And he was with it, but he had no clue. Like, it fucked him up when I came over there to record the joint that I had ready and shit. Like, he was like, damn, like, I ain't know you was rapping. You really the nicest, like, that ever came over here. Like, he was fucked up by that shit. Like, he really wanted me to, be a part of what he had going on and shit. But at the time, Dreams wasn't real. Wiz wasn't even famous yet. So, like, rap out of Pittsburgh was, like, unrealistic at the time and shit. So that's how he knew and shit.
I remember he had you on the Most Dope show on MTV back in the day.
Yeah, that's when I first came home and shit from upstate. And he heard, because like he kept hearing the name Hardo. He didn't even know me by Hardo at the time. Like I said, when we met, it was Young Joe. So whenever my name, became Hardo in the streets and I started rapping and somebody showed him, he's like, oh shit, that's my homie. He found out I was in jail. So as soon as I came, it was like the first day I was home. He jumped in my DM on Twitter and shit and reached out. As soon as I got out the halfway, he flew me to LA, linked me up with my management, Barry and Zeke. And, everything started playing its course from there.
Yeah, I know that probably affected you tremendously. Like, when he just passed, like, that was like the day your album dropped. Or
yeah, it was,
might have been the day before the day of.
It was the day of.
Yep.
It was the day of. Like, my shit dropped that night. And then, he died, passed away later on that day. But yeah, that shit, that shit was crazy. That shit definitely hurt a nigga, because like I said, it's somebody I go back with since, 9th grade, before this shit was even a dream at all, till all the way till this present day. Like, even in jail, like, my lawyer was paid. He still sent my lawyer 5 racks. Didn't even know that my shit was paid. Like, I tucked that shit. You feel me? That's my also, little discount for me. Right. But like, that's how much that was my man's. You feel me? Right. Took me on tour. That's when I ended up getting locked up. Like, you feel me? During the tour and shit. But like, yeah, like we was close and shit. So that shit definitely affected a nigga.
So in reference to all that, because my first introduction to Hardo was the Cutthroat video. Y'all niggas was in the crib wilding out and shit.
Yeah, yup.
Where was that in like time frame of all of that?
That was before we reunited and shit.
Okay.
That was like the beginning of me rapping. Okay. So I went to jail after that. That's when, it was catching on and everybody was hearing about it and shit. And that's when he caught word. So he reached out after I came home after that sentence.
Did you go to jail because of the video?
Fuck no. I was on bond for a drug case. And I ended up taking a plea for 2 to 4 and shit. I just happened to drop this video and then go to jail for a case, and somebody just created their own little storyline and tied it in thinking it was that.
Yeah.
But you know, that shit helped out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know who till this day like put that shit on World Star, but I really wish I did, because I think
was
them,
on
like,
World Star. That shit was
they're
crazy.
they're like the beginning of everything for me, for real.
Yeah. All this was around the time when T.I. was trying to sign you to Atlantic.
No, this is after. This would be way before all that. That shit came later. Like, that came after going back to jail again and shit. That came for stressing. T.I. heard stressing. He wasn't around for Cutthroat. Stressing is what caught his attention and shit. So that's when Tip came, like 2013. Cutthroat was 2011.
He just found it on the internet?
Yeah, he said like somebody was playing it, and he like walked back to hear it, like, damn, what's this? He was like, I heard that shit like 50 times. He's like, I know that shit word for word. And then he kind of started doing his homework, and he's like, he thought I was signed to Mac, but he ran into Barry at the studio, and they started talking. And, you know, Barry was telling him that I ain't signed to nobody. That's when Tip's like, oh yeah, I need to fuck with dude and shit. And I ended up calling Barry from jail, talking to Tip on the three-way. Tip brought me to Atlanta when I touched down. You know, we was fucking up, and I dropped the dice again, went back to jail, you feel me? And one thing in this shit, people ain't gonna waste their money on you if they think you a fuck up, you know what I'm saying? So like, I fumbled the dice twice, still trapping and doing, you know, dumb shit, really not believing that, you know, some rap shit was even real. But I'm glad all that shit happened, because I'm at a way better place in my life, and like, you know, my content and the values and shit. So like, it's a way better time for, you know, me to pop now. Plus like, you know, my team's stronger than ever. You know, I got people in my camp making millions now and shit. Like, and I remember motherfuckers ain't have shit. So like, you know, it's off to the races for us.
That's what's up. How did you know, everybody say T.I. super knowledgeable. What kind of jewels was he giving you, you know what I mean, in the beginning?
You know, like all this type shit that I'm talking now. Like, it took me, you know, to meet all these people and to go through all these things, just like choosing between, you know, the streets and proving shit to motherfuckers, or focusing on what really count. Like, you know, being here in the city, motherfuckers don't really got shit. Everybody hating. And, you know, that's why I like stay out the way. I don't be in the clubs too much. I don't be in the city. And, like, people here take that as, oh, a motherfucker bougie, instead of a motherfucker trying to stay safe and try and make it. Because it's definitely ain't nothing but hate. You got a lot of people who love you, but it be the same amount of motherfuckers who hating on you and shit. Motherfuckers don't even know what they be hating for. Motherfucker call you wash, but they live, you know, with their parents' crib dirty than a motherfucker. Motherfucker ain't even got a whip or none of the above, but got some shit to say about you. So, you know, that's the environment we live in. So I was getting caught up caring about shit, or these niggas that, you know, I might have feuded with from the streets that still carry on, and me worried about shit like that when, you know, all that type shit's irrelevant. So since I, you know, cleared my mind, even giving a fuck about shit like that, you know, I've been in a better space.
Right. Now, when you was locked up, is that when he shouted you out in the song?
Yeah, yup. I had went back for the drug case. That's what I'm saying. During the time of fucking with him, even though he still fucked with me as soon as I got out, but I went right back again. You know, that's just what, like, threw everything off and shit. But yeah, like, that's when the song came out and shit. When I went down at the end of 13 in August.
Did you hear it, like, in the midst of it all?
No, he told, like, we would talk on the phone all the time, so he told me, like, yo, I just made this song, shouted you out in it, but I didn't think it was, like, about to be, like, a record that was on the radio. I'm just thinking it might be a song you made at the studio. Shit might not never come out, like, you know what I'm saying? So then that shit started playing at, like, literally, like, my last month in jail. So, like, that was the beginning of that shit even coming out, like, so it was, like, perfect timing. I came home into that shit, so...
Yeah, that shit was big. That shit went crazy in the clubs. Whenever that shout out went out, that shit was crazy. That was what's up. Shout out to T.I. That's what's up.
Off camera earlier, we was just talking about Meek Mill. He speaking to that 2016. That was 2016, right? He hopped on your jam, The Love for Real.
Yeah, yup. 2016, yup. It was his joint. Me and Walt put out that Shooting Back. He had comment on that shit. Matter of fact, Meek was in a stew with Tip and Barry whenever Tip, you know, first like talked to Barry and wanted to holler, so Meek was already familiar from that. Then the Shooting Back came out. He had commented and followed me on my gram when that came out, and he was just saying, like, you know, he remember the Cutthroat. Then I went to jail, then he seen that shit and called me up Philly. So he had the song already ready and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I end up, you know, finessing that shit. Somebody leaked it though, like it just came out, like, well, and it wasn't even, I don't think from my end, because the version of the song, I ain't even had that shit. And, it just was on the net going crazy out of nowhere and shit. Like, he ain't know who released it, but we just start promoting that shit.
Had to now.
Yeah, it just starts going up and shit. But me and Meek always stay in touch and shit. Like, that's one of the, like, you know, the more realer motherfuckers that I met in this shit that don't ever get on no Hollywood shit. So yeah, like me and Meek definitely gonna come out with more shit.
That was crazy when that. Like, what was the impact for that for your career and everything?
Oh yeah, that shit made my gram go up like 10 stacks. Like just that. The Meek shit was the most powerful shit by far. Like even like when he posted the flick, my gram went up like 5K from that in like a day. And then the song came up, my shit went up like another 5K, but my streams went up crazy. But like I said, like I'm not the super internet nigga, so my page is really boring as hell. Like you come to my shit, there's really not enough on there to keep you entertained with my shit. But my shit's all in the music, it's all in the streams, like numbers in the gram. Like people gotta understand the gram's not a fan base. It's just a following for some, it's just a look. That don't mean somebody fuck with you or none of the above. I see motherfuckers with hundreds of thousands of followers but streaming 100,000 at the yearly streams and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that shit means nothing. Like I done streamed 7 million this year, 2 million fans that got brought in off Spotify.
And that's just like, Spotify,
yeah, that's just Spotify. That's not even Apple Music or nothing. Like I don't even give a fuck about YouTube. Like my YouTube ain't even doing shit. Like I just really started getting back into worrying about videos and visuals because they still want to see you. That's definitely important. And I was getting away from knowing, like, you know, you got to put a face with shit. Like motherfucking 2017, Today's a Good Day streamed 10 million on Spotify. And like Spotify, you can't fake no numbers. You can't buy shit. That shit's all real. Like I did 10 million on that shit. But you know, I waited so long to put out the video. I wasn't really behind it, like up the par on my motherfucking IG. So it was one of them things where it's this song, people don't know who the fuck it is. It's just like they like the song. Yeah. But you know, we made hella bread off that, you know, getting a deal off that shit. Like, so like it was a lot that just came behind that one record. Like I got another one, you know, that's about to come out that's on that level. Mike Tomlin producing shit called Plug Up the Street. We gonna run with it at the top of the year with the deluxe package too, but I'm gonna probably run a radio with this shit too. You know, really like take off on niggas this time 1,000%.
So that Today's a Good Day record, that has to be like your biggest song, cause like
it's the
across the nation radio, like
for sure. I went up to like number 38 on urban radio, 10 million on Spotify, 3 million on Apple Music. So like, no, we really like, you know, killed them off that shit. Like that was a hell of a payday. Like,
I saw you maneuvering around like LA Leakers, Apple Music and everything.
Like I toured off that shit with T Grizzly. He took me on tour. Like that was like, you know, a big little position at the time.
Ain't It a Blessing tour?
Yeah, yup.
How was that tour?
Oh yeah, that shit was litty. You know, that shit was my first tour. I got to make it all the way through. It was my first, like, you know, experience. It was like, you know, 500 to like 1,000 people capacities. It was good energy. Everybody that was there, fucking with everybody. Saw the baby, OMB Peasy, Lou Fo, all them and shit. So T Grizzly, everybody's vibes was official. But then, you know, we done leveled up. Ended up on a Wiz tour, 25K a night. So yeah, that shit was crazy. Like them, you know, per diem was crazier. Tour bus vibes, like everything was like, you know, like really up there. So,
bro, when you came out on that what's the joint with you and Wopo?
Blue Hunnets.
Blue Hunnets. When he brought you out, I didn't even think you was gonna bring you. I thought Wiz was gonna go into the next song. You came out, you know what I'm saying, 20,000 like in your own city. Like what was that feeling like?
That shit was going up. I mean, in the city, that's what I expect. Like, you know, I see what goes on. Like when I'm not that big to have 20,000 people out there. So it was a lot of people out there who may have heard, but that might be the first time they seen me, or some people maybe the first time they have heard me. So like it definitely was a good feeling, but it was a lot of people I still seen out there who went up that know me. So like it's like, all right, you know, it's a great feeling when you know that. And I'm saying you growing, and every time you look, it's more and more people fucking with you.
That was hard. 20,000. They knew the words and shit.
Yeah,
it's not like
God, that shit was going up. Everything.
So do you really fuck with the tour life? Like,
yeah, I love that shit. Like, that's like, you know, touring's the biggest payday in this shit. Like, you know, every artist can't tour, every artist don't tour, but if you're an artist that know how to tour and perform, that's like the biggest thing. And it's not performing ain't just jumping around in a club. It's like, you know, really like working a stage and shit like that. So like I always want to be on tour and shit, you know what I'm saying, and having that experience and getting better with that.
What areas was you getting the biggest response from, like city-wise? Like
Boston, when we went up VA. Where else was we at that people was, you know, responding crazy? Florida, what was that, Tampa Bay, people responded crazy out there. It was like a lot of spots that surprised. It was Today's a Good Day though.
Yeah.
Like I seen like, you know, people even singing that shit, but like looking like, damn, like who the fuck is this? Damn, is this the dude who sang this shit? Like it was put in the face with the song, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's still like, you know, a lot of areas that ain't know me at all but people was responding well to it, where I gained some fans from it and shit like that. So it was dope all around.
That's funny you say Virginia, because I was in Richmond. I was in this wild club, and Today's a Good Day came on.
Oh yeah,
and I had them on. I had my Pittsburgh hat on, so I guess they peeped that I was going to let a little extra too hard. They like, yo, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Pittsburgh, man. You from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
But they ran that shit back like 4 or 5 times, so they was fucking with it
that's
in
popping.
Richmond.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. VA, like they was definitely
they was fucking with it.
Like even when they seen me on the tour dates, it was a lot of people like, oh, I'm going to be at that show. Like so. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and Wopo was supposed to be on that tour with you.
Yeah. Wop was definitely supposed to be on that tour and shit. You know what I'm saying? But terrible circumstances end up happening, man. That's what I mean by like, you know, trying to like stay about the city and stay away from this shit, because that's the shit that end up happening. You know, you get a name and niggas start hating, like, and it's just and not even saying it's always hate. You know, when you really from a streets and you're a street nigga, sometimes you got beef that carry over. No matter how much popping you get, you still done, you know, build up a certain enemy, or you done did some shit to somebody, and you know you gotta always watch that shit. And when you famous and popping, it make you more accessible, because people might not know your enemy, but now your enemy and his friends and the people growing up under him from the hood who want to rep for him, they know you because you rap. So anywhere you at, this little motherfucker might know you and you don't know who that is and shit. So like I always fear shit like that. Like there's motherfuckers who was 10, who's 18 now, you know what I'm saying? And from a hood that might not fuck with me. I don't know these little kids and shit, but they might trap me for a name, you know what I'm saying, if I don't know what's going on. And that's why it's like always best to stay the fuck from around here and shit, man.
All that shit that be going through your mind, just like everyone knows you, but you don't know who's who. Like that shit don't give you anxiety?
Yeah, fuck yeah. That shit always had me paranoid. Like that shit I don't like that shit. That's why I mean, sometimes I be wishing like I was a good nigga that ain't never did shit to nobody. Then I feel like it'll be smoother. But knowing that, you know, I done did some shit and got some beef, I hate that shit. Like, cause anybody looking, it's like, all right, damn, who this? This nigga cool? Or is it a problem? I have no clue, you feel me? So, yeah, that's why I don't like being out. I ain't never having fun. It's never like comfortable unless I'm in my backyard. Like, I'm down in Homewood at the Galaxy or some shit like that. I know, like, them is places I ain't really tripping off shit. And I'm saying I'm in my hood. It's major respect. Not saying, you know, motherfucker won't do no snake shit, but I feel like I know what's going on. So, like, I know where the love at, and I know where it's too much mixed emotion at. So, like, I try to avoid places like that.
But speaking of, like, Wopo, that Shooting Back, was that the first time y'all collab?
No, we was working on hella shit. Like, we first started talking when I was in jail and shit before I came home. So when I got out, you know, like Barry put me on him. Like, yo, there's this little dude named Wopo coming up and, you know, out y'all city hard as hell. I want you to holler at him and shit. So I talked to him on the phone. Came home, Barry linked us up. We was just working on little shit, but like Shooting Back was like the first one, you know, that we felt like was dope. And we ended up like, you know, shooting a video to it, and that shit started popping. And then, like, that was, like, you know, before he even came out with Elm Street and all that shit. So then, you know, Elm Street and everything came after. And this shit started going crazy. And, you know, he started lighting up and taking over the city. Like, I already, you know, hit the highest peak that I could hit in Pittsburgh. Other than that, it's time to expand further. And it's always new people, you know, coming up and shit like that. So after me, you know, he ended up being a king of this shit and running this shit around this motherfucker. Like, this shit was all his. And now it was time to, you know, move on to the next platform, which was coming. Tour was coming, deal was coming, all that type shit. But, you know, circumstances of our city and the shit that go on, man, when you end up just being here, like, it just end up, you know, being a motherfucking thing that happened that we can't, you know, take back.
What was it like working with Wopo? I mean, y'all did a whole tape together, like the Trapanese and everything. Like,
I mean, I love working with him just because it was like, looking at somebody like me, like when I was, you know, where I was at young, I ain't had nobody older that was getting it cracking, that was like, you know, mentoring me or helping me do anything. It was just like me, just rapping and shit. doing whatever the fuck I want. So like, you know, to see somebody that was coming up under me and now I done learned some shit and I could teach him some shit and he really who he say he is and got the talent, you know, it was always like love. Sometimes, you know, we had our little differences, shit that happens, but you know, at the end of the day, that's my little bro, you know what I'm saying? I miss that nigga like crazy and shit, but working with him was like, you know, it was a great experience every time.
Right.
Hey, on that Trapanese cover, who's that dude on the cover, the Asian?
Nobody. We just felt like Trapanese. So we had the two trap motherfuckers with the Chinese babysitter and shit. Like, that's all it was.
I was like, I was trying to figure that out. Like, this is some deep shit.
Yeah,
like,
no, but that motherfucker wasn't nobody. He just added to like he watching some little trap kids, Trapanese.
I got you.
all right.
Do you think that it's essential for artists once they reach a certain level to that's John, by the way, everybody.
The quality, man, that cold, that
when he
cold
come back, we're
sweats,
gonna get him.
Man. That cold sweat's coming out real soon, man.
All right.
Good heat.
Do you think it's essential for artists to get out of the city once you get to a certain level, or do you have to get out the city to move up, you think?
I mean, the internet, anything is possible.
Right.
But that's if you just gonna be like this viral sensation. But other than that, if you want to build from the ground up, you have to. Our city's too small. We don't got the media. Like, it's not Atlanta. Like, if you pop in Atlanta, rappers gonna come to Atlanta and fuck with you because everybody wants to be popping in Atlanta. So they're gonna fuck with an up-and-coming Atlanta artist. Pittsburgh, it don't mean shit. Like, this is not a market that no artist is coming to or give a fuck about fucking with you. I mean, if an artist discover you online and want to fuck with you because of you dope and you popping in your city, that's one thing. But to think that you gonna just sit in Pittsburgh, never move around, and you just gonna blow up and you got another thing coming.
Who's some of the other artists that you worked with outside of like Pittsburgh artists, you know what I mean, outside of Meek, Wopo?
Ty Dolla $ign, motherfucking P&B Rock, Dave East, motherfucking A.O.R.Heb, who else I fuck
21
with?
Savage.
21 Savage.
Gotti.
Gotti. Shit. Some shorter, yeah, I mean, Shy Glizzy.
Yeah. I mean, some big dogs. How did those relationships come about? Is it organic or?
Yeah, all.
You know what I mean?
I'm not giving nobody a dollar.
Yeah.
We could get money together.
Right.
From a record, you feel me? Good percentages, like when it's that time, but I'm not giving nobody shit. Like, you gonna fuck with me off pure relationship.
Right.
And that's what it always been. Niggas fucking with what I got going on and know it's 100. But that's how it is. You know, people from the outside always see, you know, it's real when they fuck with that shit. So that's how like all my relationships was built.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You talk about like your business. I've heard you talk about it a few times in this. You know what I mean? Just making sure your business is right and whatnot, and streams and all that. Now you with Barry and them, was that what made you like really buckle down and have that? You know what I mean, all that shit in line together. Like, you know what I mean, make sure your business was straight. Where'd you get that line from?
That's what I'm saying. Barry and Zeke had the fucking man. Like,
okay.
That's why who you dealing with is always important. I was 19, 18 and shit. Like, I ain't had no fucking clue about none of that. It was YouTube. So when they talking Spotify's and Apple Musics, I don't even care or know what that shit is. But as I grew, like, they ain't never just like, it's a difference between, you know, a manager just setting up an account and making these things for you and not breaking it down to you. Like, my people need me to know. They want me to know, like, exactly how this go and what's going on. The business accounts, my name's on that shit too. I'm logged into that shit too. Right. I see everything. Like, we a family over there. Like, it ain't never like, oh, I'm the manager, don't worry, I'll handle this. No, I don't even have to go to them for every little thing because I know how to handle shit. Like, I know how to handle emails. I know how to talk to people too. Like, and they got a lot on their plate. Like I said, they at a different space from what a lot of people know from Fab 5 to since the 80s. It's a whole nother level, you know, so they definitely taught me everything.
Speaking of the city, like I know a lot of artists coming up, they're going to want to work with you, you know what I'm saying? You're the big dog in the city and whatnot. Is it more so like how do you feel about these artists coming out, like singers? Like,
I think Latia is the dopest. That has the, you know, the image, the charisma, everything that go with, like, you know, being a star. I mean, if there's any more up and coming and shit, like, you know, I'm looking, you know, but I ain't really, you know, seen much yet. Not saying it's not out there. It just ain't ran across me yet. And then, like, you know, a lot of like rap artists and shit, it's about finding your identity. Like, and I got my own. That's why, I mean, I be seeing like, it's weird as hell because like there'll be like 10 young thuggers that come out that look just like this motherfucker. Yeah. And y'all just continuously gracefully accept everyone with open arms, the same looking nigga every time, same sound, but you already got thug. Like, shit like that is just like, you know, strange to me. And it's like you got a motherfucker like me with my own identity that's keeping it 100, that really, you know, live by morals and what they say a real nigga is. And motherfuckers are like, act like, you know, they don't fuck with me and certain shit like that. I feel like that's what I mean by the city. It be a lot of hate. Motherfuckers hate to acknowledge you when you 100. If you ain't the nigga in they face, dick eating, in all the pictures, smiling, and all the comments, niggas be like, oh, fuck him. You know, I don't know who he think he is. Instead of just realizing the nigga just, you know, trying to do this shit differently and move on the right wave. But like, I see a lot of artists, they don't have no identity. Like, they don't got their own sound. They want to be every fucking body else. Like, but not saying it don't work. That shit been working, but I don't like that shit. Like, I like originality, and that shit be a wave though. Like, that's when I understand. Like, the top dogs in the game is Kendrick's, J. Cole's, and Drake's. They got their own identity. Then motherfuckers niggas want to chase fall off. Like, they don't sell records. You see when Meek drop, it's 220 units sold, 220,000. These motherfuckers y'all dick eating can't even sell 30K in a week. But, you know, you can still get your bag, get a little show money. But I'm trying to get some real show money, $250 a night. Like, I don't want 20 grand a night in a club every night and end up getting my head bust because I'm still so accessible to people when I'm trying to live, like, you know, beyond all that shit.
Right.
Trying to be like, ho, shit like that. I'm selling out medicine. So that's just what I'm aiming for. And I don't see too many people with the same, you know, mindset at all. So
What you think of like the rap scene here? Like
The landscape.
Yeah, the landscape, motherfuckers just being too big-headed to just to be humble and just do what they got to do. I don't know, just whether it's network, collab, communicate.
That's what I found out. Niggas is retarded out this motherfucker. Real shit. Y'all be like, you think niggas went platinum out this motherfucker?
Right.
Yo,
Right.
Niggas be wild, and bro, when they be on the net breaking that shit down, I be like, shit's crazy. Be the same niggas who ain't even getting 2 bands a show. You ain't even at least getting 2 a show. And you really be like, acting like you famous and shit. Niggas be wanting backdoor treatment, the whole time. You feel me? All that shit. I'm saying it'd be crazy as hell how niggas be. And that's where niggas be really fucking up at. Like, niggas be taking this Pittsburgh fame like over the top. It'd be like, bro, like, how do you think you famous when you leave your hood? Niggas barely even know who you is. Like, you can't fuck going through the whole city. You leave your section of the city and niggas don't know who the fuck you is.
Right.
For a can of paint, you ain't never held a show and sold out shit. You feel me? There's 2 niggas who sold out a Rex Theater. That's me and rest in peace Jimmy Wopo. And I ain't never got my head up my ass. Never. Like, I don't think I'm fucking famous. I'm still headed to where I'm going. I just, you know, carry myself in a safe way, but always humble. But as far as me thinking that I'm fucking famous and all that bullshit, like, niggas got me fucked up with all that shit. That shit be crazy. Like, niggas making these bullshit ass lists and all that clown shit miss me with that shit. Like, real shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck be going on with all that, man.
Yeah, I mean, niggas definitely gotta and this ain't to talk down on nobody either.
No, it's just niggas got, I mean, you gotta be real with people.
Yeah.
You don't, like, I'm just not a yes man, like, at all. Like, niggas gotta really get they fucking heads out their ass.
Right.
Niggas ain't even never got a feature from no motherfucking body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck niggas be thinking.
Right.
Man.
I mean,
Crazy.
our platform ain't mega huge, but Hardo, he was on time. You know what I'm saying? Super humble dude. I mean, came to chop it up.
That's another thing. Like,
You can't say the same about a lot of y'all niggas, man.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta treat good people how you want to be treated. And the thing is, the cycle always turn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just for instance, like, you know, Wiz took motherfucking K-Dot on tour, Kendrick Lamar on tour. Now look at Kendrick today. You know what I'm saying? It's the biggest rapper in the game. Like, you never know who's going to be what. Like, I come to this interview on time, you turn around and be the Breakfast Club. And now I know you'll bring me back on that motherfucker again, you feel me? Because of the way I treated the situation and shit. Like, you can't just shit on people or shit like that. If you going to do something, do that shit. But like I said, I'm not fucking with anybody and everybody. Like, you got to damn near at least have some type of a platform too, because people get that fucked up. You can't just up and start some shit. You start a podcast tomorrow and you want to reach straight for me, and it'd be like, what's my purpose to come on some shit you just started yesterday that ain't even going to get to nobody?
Right.
And then you want to re-bring me on this shit 2 months down the road. Like, build your your podcast, like the shit don't get lit from who you bring on the motherfucker. Shit really get lit from who you are. Like, people don't really watch the Breakfast Club because of certain persons on here. They just know the type of shit Charlamagne gonna be on with somebody. Like, they know the platform that the questions is gonna be better than the average person shit. Like, so people don't never want to build they shit. Artists want to come straight. Hardo, I need a verse. I need you to turn me up. Like, you gotta turn yourself up.
Your
like,
DMs is probably crazy.
yeah, shit be crazier. Motherfucker think you on some shady shit. But it's like, bro, like, I can't just shoot this vid with you for what? Like, you don't got shit going on. Like, if niggas ain't fucking with you for you, niggas is not gonna fuck with you just cause I'm on that shit. Nigga might think you paid me for real, for real. You might have.
Yeah.
So, like, that shit, like, people gotta understand that. You gotta build your fan base off of you. Features that enhance you once you lit. Like, you know, a feature can do well for me because of the platform I'm already building for myself. But it's not going to be just me start rapping tomorrow, put a nigga on my song, and y'all going to fuck with me. That's not how this shit
Same
go.
thing, just like when Meek hop on your jam, you still got to build your foundation up as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, that shit ain't make me famous overnight. Wiz put out a video with me. That shit don't just make me blow up overnight unless it's a hit. You got a hit, that's different.
You was talking about your visuals. This is something that just popped in my mind. How the hell did that Famer Feds video come about, man? Because that shit, when
I direct
shit
everything. Like,
viral fast as hell.
I be directing everything. I'm great at this visual shit, for real,
that shit
for
was
real.
fire.
Like, you know, that the concept was like, you know, I see people doing shit for clout all the time.
Yeah.
That's not what I was aiming for. That's why, like, you don't see me on this shit shooting, so you think like, oh, Hardo did this, and try to confuse people to be hurt or scare people that I'm in some type of danger, or like, you feel me, for instance, I seen some shit like dude Snap Dogg did, acting like you in a shootout. That, like, that's fuck shit, you feel me? Like, that's not no like shit you do. Like, my thing was like, I tried to use a random dude that people didn't know. I tried to warn him to tell his family that what was going on. He kind of failed at that shit, so I had to release the video earlier because you got your mom panicking and shit like that. But the purpose of the video was like showing what I'm different than and showing what happens when you clout chasing. Niggas want to be on the internet with their guns and flexing shit to get you killed. Like, so that just was showing that gratitude of what was going on in the video. You see a dude with a purse, shit that I'm not into, you feel me? So it was just like, you know, a lot of different like messages. When you trapping, the nigga set you up. Nigga got the wire on in the video. So it's like, if you really watch the video, you know, like, it's just a bunch of shit that goes on when you know, chasing clout for real, or you want to be in these streets. Like, that was like the whole purpose of the video. And that was like the difference between, you know, me and some of the shit some of these other dudes did. It's crazy because I shot that shit back in like May. And then like somebody on the net came out, like, he was getting snatched out the car and like somebody killed him. Then he was like acting like he was dead for 3 days, then dropped the video. Like, see, you searching for people to act like they love you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being genuine, you looking for the people to be like, oh, RIP, he was dope. So then when you're alive, you feel like the love is there, but now you really playing yourself. Niggas like, damn, you faking your death all for some fucking, for some fame and shit. Like, and that's not what we ain't doing. We ain't doing none of that shit. Like,
speaking of being hands-on, I remember I tagged you and Stevie B in the Insta story when y'all dropped that What's Real 3.
Yup.
And you was like, damn, bro, you ain't give me no credit for the beat.
Yeah. No, cause I had like
the sample.
Yeah, I came out. I found the sample, and like, you know, the drum pattern. Like, I can't make beats, but like sometimes when I got a little vision, I can offer it to the person. So like, I'm still a credited producer, even though I was just talking shit. But I just, you know, still wanted people to know like I got something to do with the beat, because it's the first shit that I feel like I had something to do with. Like, but yeah, that's how we came about that shit.
Yeah, I was surprised you ain't throw that on the album.
Yeah, I know. It's just sometimes certain shit, like, it's like I still want to even put it out, but like, I felt like I had the whole shit out on the gram. And then like, you know, the album was still telling a story in the present day. Like, beforehand, it was telling a Famer Fed story in a certain time frame. So like, that album don't really even got nothing to do with exactly what all's going on in today's life. It got a lot to do with when I first changed my mental. That's what, like, when the transition of the tape where it coming to Here For You and shit like that. But it really ain't even getting the depths of, like, you know, Wopo passed, and like Wopo's alive on my album, like Oh Y'all Body and shit like that. Everything's present day. Deasley's on there, but it's not like a free Deasley type of thing. It's like Deasley's here with me. You feel me? That's the feds part of what was going on with shit. Like, so like shit like that'll come, like, you know, next project and shit like that.
Throughout the Famer Fed story and like throughout your music, like you speak on like legacy a lot. Like you mentioned it in the Famer Feds song. You mentioned it the song at the end. I heard you mentioning like legacy in the song with Meek Mill. Like I see this is something that you hold to a high standard with yourself. So I just want to know, like, what does like legacy mean to you?
I mean, that's everything. I feel like, you know, that's a foundation, and like for generations when they look back and know why, you know, things a certain way and my peoples is wealthy and other families, it go back from me. Like I say, like, you know, old white people, you might see some old motherfucking whitey on the wall from like 1800, but like he was rich as hell where everything is built because of him, so his peoples is straight, like, and black people ain't had that fucking opportunity. So like, you know, now we got some money and we still ain't 100% free. So like, you know, some people be thinking like we just got the most opportunity and could do this, that, and third, and that shit's not true. They might let a few in to keep things balanced and to keep us thinking one way when it's not. Like, so whenever it is a motherfucker who do get a chance to get a platform, I think you should build on legacy, because clearly nothing can stop us, because year after year, from 400 years to now, we do got billionaires, but it's still more for us to come, more shit to happen. But the people who is in position should always be wanting to put another motherfucker in position. Like, I don't understand if you in position and you ain't trying to make other millionaires, other billionaires and shit like that. Like, what's the point of having it all to yourself when you keep getting it? And then these people you bring up gonna always, you know, the real ones you bring up gonna always know it's because of you. So they always gonna give back to you or help some shit you got going on. Like, I don't want to feed all my peoples and shit like that. I want my peoples to be able to feed themselves. Like, when I go on tour and I'm rich as hell, like, I want my niggas to be able to have their own fucking tour buses. Like, my niggas don't gotta be on my shit. Like, even if they ain't rapping, like, we just all getting that fucking much money. If niggas want to come, niggas can fucking bring their own fucking entourage and tour. Like, and that's how that shit should be. Like, it should never be just you getting all the fucking money and everybody around you starving. Like me, like, I rob you for real, for real. Like, if I'm in that position, you don't owe me shit, but you ain't gonna be getting all this paper. And I know I got some shit I'm trying to do, and you ain't trying to really, like, you know, put a nigga in position and give a nigga a shot. Like, not saying it's gonna work out. If you could give a nigga a shot, then give somebody that motherfucking shot. Like, it ain't gotta be your homeboy if your homeboy ain't got a plan, but there's somebody that you could give a shot to. You should give somebody a shot. Word. So that's my whole thing on legacy.
All right. That's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Anything else you want to say? Anything that's coming up you working on? Anything you want to promote? Where
Just get that Famer Feds. Don't forget, promote. Give it to the next motherfucker who ain't heard it yet. Keep pushing that shit. Sometimes it take, you know, a year for some hits be out for a year before they break. You know, the project only been out 3 months. We still got a lot of time of promoting that shit and getting that shit across. If you ain't heard that shit, get that shit. It's the best shit of 2018 for surely. That's about it, man.
All right. Where can they find you at and everything?
Everywhere. Hardo, Hardo. All social media, Trappin' Hardo, TRAPN Hardo. And that's what it is, man. Music on all platforms.
Word.